Good morning. My name is Karen Boster, and my informative speech is on the Guide Dogs for the Blind organization. According to the CDC, more than 3.4 million, or 3% of Americans aged 40 years and older, are either legally blind or worse, or visually impaired. So the focus of this speech will be on specifically people who are legally blind and one of their many options to help them live their lives normally. This option is a certified guide dog. Guide Dogs for the Blind is an organization that breeds, raises, trains, and assigns certified guide dogs to the blind and to visually impaired people. Today I will talk about the purpose of Guide Dogs for the Blind and the process of raising a guide dog from birth to assignment. I'll hit three main points. The first is birth to about 8 weeks old. The second is puppy raising, and third is formal training and assignment. So, birth in the first 8 weeks of life. Guide Dogs for the Blind breeds and raises Labradors, Golden Retrievers, and crosses between the two. Researchers carefully breed together dogs to produce specific traits like tameness, low distractibility, and also height and weight. After the birth of puppies, they're kept with their mother and slowly weaned off of her milk over about 4 to 6 weeks. They're also given their first set of vaccinations and are given some very minimal training. After this, they're given out to volunteer puppy raisers at roughly 8 weeks old. What exactly are volunteer puppy raisers, and what's their role in this process? Volunteer puppy raisers are volunteers that take on the important job of laying the foundation for a puppy's training. They have three main goals, and those are potty training, socialization, and house manners. Let's start with potty training. Potty training is actually more difficult than it sounds. Puppies have to, quote unquote, do their business on command when they're told, not just when they feel like it. They also have to be on a very consistent schedule, knowing when exactly they do their business each day. And then the next step is socialization. Socialization is what people think about when they think about a guide dog in training. This is when puppies are wearing their official green Guide Dogs for the Blind vest, and they're out in public at a restaurant or a grocery store or a clothing store. Puppies should be quiet and attentive, and people shouldn't know the puppy is there unless they directly see the puppy. They're also taught basic commands, including sit, down, stand, go to bed, and come. So I'm going to demonstrate really quick with our Guide Dog for the Blind puppy a couple of those commands right now. Come on, okay. Let's go. So this is Makani. Makani is our Guide Dog for the Blind puppy. She is 1 year old right now and will be with us for about 6 to 8 more months. Okay, Makani, stand. Nice. Makani, sit. Nice. Makani, down. Makani, down. 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 Nice. And those are just a few of the commands that guide dog puppies learn. There's a whole bunch more. And if you noticed, one of the things I was saying was the word nice. Nice is almost like a trigger word for puppies. It's letting them know that they're doing the right thing and that a treat is on the way. And then the last thing that we as puppy trainers teach is house manners. This is basically being a good pup in the house, so not jumping on counters or tables, begging for food, and then also they shouldn't be on couches or chairs. They also shouldn't bark at the doorbell or someone knocking at the door, and they shouldn't be aggressive at all. So these puppies stay with raisers from anywhere from 10 to 12 months, and during that process they have 3 to 4 evaluations with a highly trained representative from Guide Dogs for the Blind. After being with puppy raisers, the puppy is then recalled back to the Guide Dog for the Blind headquarters, in San Rafael, California, to start their formal guide training. So next, formal guide training is the last step puppies do before becoming a certified guide dog for the blind. So let's start with what happens if puppies don't make it. What if they aren't cut out for the process? Of course, not every guide dog or not every puppy is meant to be a guide dog. Some of them just can't handle it. So they have two main options. One is they can go to a different organization. They're still good pup and they're still good to be a service dog. They could go to something like Dogs for Diabetics, or to be a PTSD dog, or some type of comfort dog. Or if they just aren't cut out to be a service dog at all, they are then offered back first to the puppy raisers as a pet, and if the puppy raisers don't want them, they go to someone else as a pet. But what about the dogs who do make it? So formal training is an 8-phase process. Phase 1 is a vet check and a health evaluation. And at that point in the process is when guide dogs decide if they want to keep that puppy to be a breeder, to carry on their traits in future puppies. So in phase 2 through 8 are all guide work, getting increasingly more and more difficult at every phase. And at every phase, a puppy can get career changed if they aren't passing evaluations and keeping up with expectations. If you'd like a more in-depth explanation on the formal guide training, there's a docu-series on Disney Plus called Pick of the Litter that explains all 8 phases in depth. And then after phase 7, the puppy gets paired with a blind person that has been flown out to the Guide Dogs for the Blind campus. And pairing isn't a super simple process. Guide Dogs has found that the most successful teams have similar personality traits. So active dogs with active people, mellow dogs with mellow people. And after the team has been paired, there's 2 weeks of training the team goes through before graduation. After graduation, the team is then returned to the blind person's home, and they stays with the person until the dog is retired. So that could be anywhere from 7 to 10 years, or sometimes even longer. And then, according to the docu-series Pick the Litter, created by Guide Dogs for the Blind, 800 puppies are born at Guide Dogs for the Blind each year, and only 300 make it through the rigorous training to become guides. So in conclusion, Guide Dogs for the Blind is an amazing organization that has an intricate process to train puppies to be guides. The 3 main phases again are birth and early life, puppy raising, and then formal training. To wrap up, here's a quote from the National Center of Biotechnology. Guide dogs may not only support blind people in their independency, but also facilitate social relationships and overall health. Thank you.